Here is a part of the vision quest that Chiron Last spoke about. Here is one way in which I view it. Since when did Chiron Last started doing these materials that he published? I think it was 2013. And I think many of us which appreciated and sometimes we were shook to our core by some of the materials. We've definitely been able to perceive the humongous amount of work, dedication, commitment, implication that it might have required to create even one of those materials. But then imagine the work, dedication, genius, thinking, energy, time to put all that entire body of work together and publish it. And then one looks at that immense amount of value which has been given to humanity, basically. And one can be left in almost like awe to see a true human being giving almost everything it had for the world, for the other human beings, fellow human beings, giving something which that true human being had as skills, as tools, as wisdom, as knowledge, putting everything it had with the tools available to that being, for the other human beings, for the earth, for our entire destiny and existence here. And you encounter such action, you encounter this level of dedication and implication, standing up for what's right with everything that one has. And I believe that many of us, we were impacted, and something in us was deeply shaken by the example, by the direct example being shown in the acts and in the work Chiron has laid before us. Even the work in and of itself is a direct example of somebody which is really walking the talk, putting everything one has. to bring the so-called light into the darkness. Because so many people might be speaking about bringing light to the darkness and how we can do all these spiritual processes and do healing and meditation, but who is actually putting its entire breath, life, time, energy, dedication to give something for the other human beings, to give something for the entire reality, to put its entire heart and life, time and energy for this endeavor. How many which are walking the spiritual path have put their entire life for it? And one of my ways to see this idea of the vision quest is to ask, well, what would this being, what would this true human being which has given everything of itself for the world, for the other human beings, also need? Who has stopped to think of Chiron Last? Who has stopped to think, what would this true human being also need? Because he is a flesh and blood true human being just like everybody else. He has its own struggles, he has its own fears, he might have its own ways in which its own journey might be able to be aided by the others. So how can we give back to Chiron Last? How can we give back for what it has been given? Who stops to think what it can give back when we all recognize that we have been given almost like a new chance at life through many of those messages? Like, I recognize for myself, like back in 2022, I think, end of 2022 or something, when or 2023 perhaps, when the dark videos started to be published, I felt completely resuscitated by them. Like, I felt like, oh my god, like I thought I was awake, I thought I was doing my spiritual process, but it's like my heart was still asleep. Like, until Chiron started to really literally, I heard him cry in one of those videos for the pain, the immense absurdity and the pain, the terror and the horror that we are all under each and every moment of each day. When I heard that cry, it's like my heart could not move on. It's like my heart woke up. But how many beings were having that level of courage and vulnerability to show this type of vulnerability to others, so that the hearts of the others could wake up? Who had that amount of courage to show its heart so that it would wake up the hearts of the others? So it's easy, in a way, to look at one of these beings and is capable of doing this much amount, to sum up this much amount of courage. And it's easy in a way to think like, oh yeah, but he's just created this way, it's easy for him, he has the knowledge, he has the wisdom, yeah, it's something special, but it's still, I think it might be easy for him. Well, my question is, what if that's not the case? What if it's not easy for him? What if he might need so much he might need us so much. Even if he might not say it, he himself might need support. He might need us so much. So then, if that would be the case, we could wonder, well, what would Chiron Last need? What would Chiron need? And that's the vision quest. Because I feel that if we follow the message, it becomes obvious what Chiron also needs. It needs us to start taking things seriously, paying attention, and taking our life seriously. It needs to see us waking up, but for real. It's like, it's not spiritual waking up, it's like starting to have a stance in this, starting to live our life the way we should live it. Like this entire body of work, everything has been put out with a reason, to create a certain change, to create the opportunity at least for a change. So what would Chiron Last need? It would need to see us act upon what was given. Don't you think that this would give it strength to see that its work was not given in vain? So then contemplate upon the message. Contemplate upon what exactly was the message saying that we should do. For example, did Chiron ever mention about us going and meditating on a mountain and just taking our own spiritual journey and minding only ourselves and not minding the others? No. He consistently spoke about being last and helping first the others around. That's walking the talk. That's walking the message. So the question is, how do we support the others? How do we support one another? How do we show we are standing up for what we have received? Don't you think that this true human being, which has given so much of it to deliver this message, might feel, let's say, just a bit more hope or more light in its own journey, to see that its message is starting to be comprehended and understood and put to practice? Like, we have to come together. We have to live the message. We have to support each other, and not only each other, but also support Chiron. Imagine what this brilliant human being was able to do on its own. And then imagine what it could do if it would have our support. Don't you think that we are always more powerful together, independent of who we are? So this was my message, in a way, for this video today. Who thinks about what Chiron Last also needs, and how we can be of support to him? Not only thanking him for the message, not only saying, oh, I've missed you, and oh, it's so great to have you back, and all of these things, you know, but how do we truly show we are walking the walk in our individual lives? And that would mean truly taking seriously our journey in this life, and truly taking seriously our life, and truly walking the walk. Not only to show something to Chiron or to say thanks. Oh, I'll just walk the walk a bit. Yeah, I'll walk 10 miles with you just to say thanks for the message. Jesus. No, it's like, God. And sometimes, man, it's like sometimes it's like the ironical aspects of this reality, man. This just because I can already see how some minds would have been able to even think like that. And but what I'm talking here is like, how many of us which have been perceiving the message, are we truly taking it seriously in our lives and walking it in our life, knowing that there is not another more, let's say, highest form of journey in a way than the journey of walking towards true life. And this is not an easy walk. Actually, it is the most difficult thing we are ever to do. So I get anybody who is scared. I get anybody who is trying to delay this. I get it. And still, when are we going to start walking? That's the question. Because I believe that as much as we want to delay it, this walk, we will never be able to truly avoid it. We are going to need to start walking this walk at some point or another, because I believe otherwise Chiron Last message would have never even found us. We've been found because we were asking to be found. So now that the call has been sent and we've been found, are we stepping up, stepping on this journey that we've ourselves asked a chance at? So how can we give back to Chiron Last? In my opinion, it's to just walk the true, authentic walk that already beats within our hearts, and taking life seriously, taking this opportunity seriously, taking ourselves seriously, our true selves, our heart seriously, following its guidance, coming together, being of support to each other, teach each other, learn from each other, grow each other, and grow together, walk together. How else could it be? I believe that this is what we can truly give back to Chiron Last. And I believe that this is what he might have expected silently, in a way, from all of us. And it's a matter of dignity, and it's a matter of honor. Paying honor, respect to something which has been given, which was so profound, and with definite effects in our life, because we've all been, some of us, we've been completely shaken and resuscitated by the message we've received from Chiron Last. So it's a matter of bringing honor, respect to something which was given, and it was of such an immense value and profundity, and it shook us and it changed us from inside out. It's an honor which we can only repay it in a way. We can only give back by truly taking our life seriously, honoring the life within us, and allowing our heart to guide us through this, believing in our hearts from now on, having the courage to act from the heart. From this stance of pure vulnerability, always completely naked in the face of life, and acting honestly, authentically, and coming together in this way. That's the true honoring that we can give to this message, in my opinion. To this message that we have been given, and this chance that we have received through this message Chiron Last has put it out.